What's good, internet? Welcome back to Grim. Today we're meeting some kid that is living all of your guys' dream life. That's right, he just up and decided, yo, school is not for me, and stopped going. So he just sits around and plays video games all day. Anyways, let's meet our subject for the day.
A typical day for me is where I'll usually wake up, grab breakfast, come back down, play games for a couple hours. I spend pretty much all day on video games. I truly think I am addicted to the video games.
Same, dog. But you know what, guys? I realize, yeah, I'm addicted to video games, but everyone that tells me I'm addicted to games spends every waking hour watching Netflix anyways when they aren't at work, so I don't really see how that's much different or any better. You know, at least I'm interacting with the media I'm consuming, but you know what? That isn't the point of the video, so I digress. Back to the gamer kid.
This is my room. These are all my old consoles, usually from 2002 down to the 80s. We have the NES, the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64, and then the Nintendo GameCube from 2002.
Okay, not gonna lie, this kid has a pretty sweet collection, so at least he's not a gaming addicted kid that just plays boring games like COD. He probably actually has a lot of stuff to play through when he gets bored, so that's a plus. Also, I see that he's a drummer, so he's got a point in my book.
My mom does frustrate me sometimes when she takes my games.
You've been playing games all day long.
Sometimes I'll yell at her. When we got into a fight about my games, I was like rampaging around the house, trying to find them, like opening drawers, opening cabinets.
Okay, that's actually like the sign of an addict right there. If you're freaking out and destroying your house after mommy takes away your games for one day, well, that's pretty bad, kid. Can't you just hang out with your friends or play drums or something?
I came down here and punched a big hole in the wall, and then she was like yelling at me, trying to say stop, but I just kept going.
Alright, so I'm assuming this kid suffers from some sort of anger problems. It could be from a plethora of things, but after seeing that blood-stained crack on the wall from him punching it out of rage for his games being taken away, I think it's safe to say he gets a little tilted sometimes.
I stopped going to school 2 days ago. I don't feel like I can do school right now. It's very difficult for me. Why? I have no clue. Me not going to school is a brand new thing. I just don't feel school is for me at the moment.
How old is this kid? And why are his parents allowing this? Guys, actually imagine just not going to school, and then when your parents freak out about it, obviously, as everyone should go to school at least through high school. I mean, it's like a basic requirement in today's society. And you just say, I don't really know why, but I'm really feeling like school's not really for me at the moment. Oh, by the way, can you put some chicken tendies in the oven? I gotta go back downstairs. I'm in a game. Like, no, that would not fly in my house.
My dad and I did get into a physical altercation. I was sitting in the office playing my games, and he came and grabbed me, threw me on the floor, and then I got back up, I tried to run away, he grabbed me, pushed me out the door, tried to get me into his car. So
this part is a bit sad, actually, as if you're resulting to physical altercations, you probably don't have the best of relationships with that parent, but it's kind of a funny thing that his dad literally had to kidnap him into his car just to get him away from video games for just a little bit of time. That's some desperation right there.
It does bother me that my parents are divorced. It's very upsetting to me, very sad. I have seen my parents fight before. I am bothered by it. It's kind of upsetting, but I would love to see my parents get back together one day. I just don't think it'll ever happen.
So that right there could be the reason for him being, I don't know, depressed or even just angry at the world. As for many kids, it is really tough to have divorced parents. That still doesn't give him the excuse of being rude to his parents and ignoring them for his games, but it does provide a little bit of explanation behind his moods and actions.
We will be flying out of the airport to go to the Dr. Phil show.
You enjoy your time in LA?
If I try to get you to go in the car, what happens?
Well, remember when Dad tried to get me in the car? He couldn't even get me in the car. I doubt you can as well.
Dad couldn't even kidnap me. I doubt you could, Mom. No, you guys go enjoy LA and the Dr. Phil show, and you know what? I'm gonna stay back here and game my heart out while you guys are away. Could probably get through a couple prestiges this weekend without you pestering me to go outside. My squad needs me, Mom. Also, buy me more G Fuel before we leave, please.
Personally, I think I can solve the problem myself. I don't think I need to be on the Dr. Phil show, and I feel that this is a waste of my time. I'm not going.
Okay, you guys, I need you to remember what this kid just said, just for a reason later on in the video. You'll understand here in a bit, but really make a point to remember that. This fool just said, I think I can solve the problem myself. I don't think that Dr. Phil would even be able to help me, and I think it's just a waste of time. Just remember, that was his attitude right there in the interview.
Both parents did agree that something needed to be done. And when that happens and parents agree, then we involve what's called a transporter.
The transporters are getting involved. That's right. I'm not sure of the legality of this, as it seems like kidnapping to me, but, you know, the Dr. Phil show is legit. They're on like their 80 billionth season at this point, so most likely they have it all figured out legally. But basically, you're about to meet these people, and what they do is that they're tasked with getting someone to the show that is reluctant about going, no matter what they say.
We've just arrived at the family home. We're gonna go inside and meet our young man.
Okay, so that dude is pretty creepy. I would not want to be woken up to that in the middle of the night by that dude saying, "Come on, young man, we need to get you on this flight. Time to meet the doctor."
This is Mike. This is Laura.
We're your handlers. Dr. Phil has cordially requested your presence in Hollywood. He would really like to meet you. Our job is to just kind of get to the flight, make sure we catch everything on time, make sure all your needs are met.
So they walk downstairs and find this kid literally sleeping on a pile of Legos. Don't think I've ever built Legos to the point of that much exhaustion, but hey, no judgment there. Maybe he's just really dedicated, you know? So these guys have to come down and pick him up, and they're needing him to go with them. I need you guys to guess how he responds to this. I mean, earlier, like I said, what you were supposed to remember is he said he isn't going and it's a waste of time, and Dr. Phil couldn't even help him. In fact, he's going to help himself. So how do you think this is going to end up? He's probably going to put up quite the fight, right?
So right now we are at the airport and we're heading off to LA, going to the Dr. Phil show. I do hope to resolve some of the issues at my house, or me not going to school.
It just cuts. It just cuts to him sitting at the airport about to get on the flight. This kid didn't even put up the fight. He probably saw the big bodyguard type dude that came down to transport him and was like, okay, this dude's huge. I'm not going to try and fight that dude. I should probably just go.
Missing out on this opportunity is going to be a big mistake, and I think Dr. Phil is going to be able to help me out with my problems right now, and I'm very excited.
Seriously though, the juxtaposition between that line, yeah, really excited for Dr. Phil to help me out. I think missing out on this would be a big mistake. I'm definitely excited. To the next shot of him walking to the airport was such a sad, just unenthusiastic face. Oh, that's editing gold right there. Anyways, let's hear from the mom now.
The last time he attended school was last May. He's refused to start his junior year. He says he can't do it. He doesn't want to.
So this kid just straight up refused to start his next year of school. I don't think I could tell that to my mom and actually make that work in just about any universe. She would find a way to get me to go to school, you guys. I'm not going to front and act like I was always excited to be in school or to be going. Of course, I missed a lot of days, like I'm sure a lot of you guys do, but I never would actually just fully stop going at the end of one of my years. Like I said, in my eyes, it's a basic requirement, and most people who live comfortably in this country at least graduate high school. I don't get why this kid is so opposed to it. Plus, you only have like 2 years left, man. I never got that, why people drop out in their junior or senior year. Like, you've already done over a decade of work at this point. Why ruin all that by just being lazy in the last stretch? So guys, real quick, I have a super fast challenge that only takes 5 seconds to complete. So if you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just give it a try, it really works.
Things have gotten so bad that I have had to call the police twice.
Chloe, call the police.
Let me have my stuff back then.
Alright man, if your mom had to call the police on you twice, rethink your freaking life. That's the woman that has cared for you and raised you, and you can't even act with the decency around her to not have her scared out of her mind until she calls the cops. I skipped over the earlier talking from her, but she explains that he tears up every room in the house if he gets in trouble and she takes his games away, and even gets physically violent with his younger sister and even her, his own mom. You know guys, that's where I draw the line and stop having sympathy for this kid who was seemingly just down on life right now, but I don't care how angry you get, man, you don't hurt your mom or your sibling, especially when you're 16 and 6 feet tall.
Jake has gotten so angry that he's actually shoved and pushed the dogs that he loves more than anything.
Come on, man, not the freaking dogs. Nobody is safe around this psycho, not even his pets. That's supposed to be like the one safe space. How can you get so angry you shove your dog around? Someone seriously get this kid in counseling right now.
I absolutely believe some of these issues with Jake stem from the separation and divorce from John and I.
So I'm assuming they got divorced recently, as he's just now lashing out, and I gotta say that would really be tough having your whole childhood be fine, and then you're in your most trying years in terms of being a hormonal teenager, and your parents just split up and your life feels like it's falling apart. So I do feel for him there, and that would explain why he is lashing out so badly. This kid is probably getting good money for good grades, and he doesn't even want to keep going to school. Come on, man, your dad is literally giving you every incentive to succeed. Most kids wouldn't get paid for grades, and they still go to school. So Dr. Phil asked the mom what her biggest fear or worst moment from this kid was in the past year, and she explains that first he has slammed his sister's head into the car door, which is so messed up, bro. They said that the sister is 13, but no matter what the age, you're old enough to drive. You simply just don't hurt your siblings like that. But the other moment that she goes in more detail is the fight with the dad that happened a week before filming this.
He threw his dad onto the driveway, and his dad left the house saying, "I'm having a heart attack."
So this 16-year-old kid body slammed his dad onto the pavement in an altercation about him going outside with him and probably going to his house, and in turn gave his dad a heart attack. Sheesh, that is a messy situation for all parties involved. But seriously, that's when you should be as a parent thinking, maybe I should get this kid some counseling. There are obviously some major underlying problems here. In fact, that's specifically what Dr. Phil tells the family. He offers them a great counselor that can meet with this kid each week and track his progress of controlling his anger and letting out his emotions when it comes to his parents being recently divorced. And told the parents no matter what, they need to be enforcing that he goes to school, as like I said, it's what's expected of young adults in order to even have the chance of being successful. All in all, I think once this kid gets some help, hopefully things will be better, and maybe his parents could wean him off of the video games a bit to help ease the transition from dropout punk to successfully happy child. All in all, this was an interesting video purely because they had to kidnap him to even get him on the show, and he's just so out of control it blew my mind. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to drop a like on this video, as well as subscribe and hit that bell to be notified every time we upload, as well as join our notification squad. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.